What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Panda, and I'm back with another reaction video. On today's video, I want to do another reaction on the one who shut everything down, and that's Miss Westindiecollection. I also want to chat a little bit about Solid Sunnyi putting her hands on her sister. Before we get started on today's video, hit that like button, share, and subscribe to my channel. So if you're ready, let's get started on today's video. The first thing I want to point out is Westindiecollection is still homeless. Why is that? She has a day job at a hotel. The hospitality industry really doesn't pay that much. But she has other sources of income, such as housekeeping and OnlyFans, amongst other hustles. Not to mention, she did receive her tax return. She did say that. Okay? She told Marcus that she helped somebody out with her taxes. Now, hold up. Wait a minute. How's she gonna help somebody when she claimed that she need help? Don't she be up here begging all the time? Okay. Now, does that make sense to y'all? Cause it sure don't make sense to me. And she bought stuff for their camping trip, which was nice of her. However, she's still homeless and in the same situation. She wastes a lot of money on temporary things that doesn't do anything to fix her situation. She could have found a decent spot for her and her boys to live at with that money. But she chose to blow her money on BS and a bum who can't help her with nothing. And I'm not being funny, but why would she buy a Benz knowing that she's still homeless? I'm not a hater or nothing, so hear me out. But she don't have no place to live, let alone a place to park a Benz. Okay? That's what I mean when I say that. Why would she buy a Benz? I know that's a nice car. We all like nice things. But you got to have somewhere to park it, which she doesn't have right now. Okay? Her priorities are completely screwed up. She has rich taste, but poor money. Then she got the nerve to come up here poor mouthing. If y'all don't know what poor mouthing is, she be basically begging. Okay? That's what she be doing. Now, I wouldn't say that it's all bad. I wouldn't say that she's like a bad person. One thing that I will say about her that I do like is that she loves her kids. She seems to have a good relationship with her oldest son. Every time I look at them, they always be having like food and snacks, and she feeds them. She takes them places. She buys them things, and she keeps them clean. She just needs to love them enough to curb her spending habits long enough to save up money for a decent place, because kids need stability. They need a stable home and a stable environment and a good, clean roof over their head. Taking them places is not going to, it's not going to do anything with that. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, she has a lot of money that touches her hands. She just doesn't do a good job with managing her money, the money that she does have. Marcus from Atlanta Street Interviews asked her why she doesn't allow her oldest son to live with his father while she gets her life in order. Then she can get him back once she gets herself situated. Now, from what she said in an interview, she felt that her oldest son's father betrayed her. She said that he had temporary custody of their son at one point in time before her mother gained custody of him. He tried to keep their son from her by not allowing any contact between the two of them, like no phone calls, no text messages, just like no contact or whatever. Okay? So I can kind of understand why she's a little apprehensive about giving him custody of their son because of what happened in the previous situation. Now, is it just me? But I can't help but feeling like there's a little bit more to this story than what she's willing to share with us. I feel like there's a reason why he was acting like he didn't want the son to talk to her. I think that there's more to this chick than what meets the eye. There could possibly be a side to her that she doesn't show people. But we will never know unless Marcus decides to interview her oldest son's dad to get those answers. Or from somebody from her family or somebody who know her. I don't know about y'all, but I sure would love to hear what his side of the story is. Marcus, could you contact WestindieMamii or Westindiecollection's oldest son's baby father so we can get the story as to why he wouldn't allow her to talk to him or have contact with him while he was in temporary custody of the son? I would love to know that. It seemed like it would be quite interesting.
Talked last time about the father of your 9-year-old, right? Is up in Pittsburgh, you said, correct?
Yeah.
And so, why not consider let him stand with him, especially if he's having behavioral problems right now? Because those behavioral problems ain't gonna get no better as he gets older and older. That's just gonna get worse and worse.
I will hope he would change, but I love my kids and I want to raise my kids. I already been through that situation where my son was with me for 3 years and I fought hard 3 years just to get him back in my custody.
So you say where he wasn't with you for 3 years?
Yeah, that broke my
And so
heart.
who was he with during that time?
His dad had him. He betrayed me. I finally got him back, and then my mom.
What do you mean he betrayed you?
Meaning he tried to keep my son from me, like no contact, nothing. And this is when I was living in Vegas. He didn't let me help, like he didn't allow me to have no contact, and he ended up going to jail. And he allowed his girlfriend at the time to watch him. No one didn't tell me anything. So
Now, see, I didn't know that part, but I still want to hear the father side of the story because I still feel like it's more to this story than what we're being told. But did y'all catch that piece of information where she said that the father had temporary custody and then her mother gained custody after the father had went to jail? Because I was kind of confused about that. Like, why didn't she just let the dad have, custody of the son? And how did the mother end up with custody of the son? Because the father went to jail, and instead of giving the son back to her, some kind of way he left the child, the oldest son, with his girlfriend at the time, without letting her know anything. Now, my thing is, I don't know how well she knew this lady, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with somebody I don't know, which she's a stranger, whether that's his girlfriend or not. You don't really know her like that. And step parents could be funny style sometimes. Now, y'all know that step parents could be mean, and they don't always treat their stepchildren the way that they treat their own children. So I could kind of understand why she would have an issue with that. So it might be a little bit more to that too. But let's continue.
When I showed up, my son was just with her for like at least a good 3 months without me knowing. And she never had no communication with me. Like, it was just all disrespectful.
Well, yeah, I mean, that sounds disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie. What was his reasoning for doing that? Like,
yeah, I would have been mad too. 3 whole months? You mean to tell me you get locked up, leave my child with some female that you dating that I don't know nothing about? You didn't tell me you got locked up because you didn't want me to know, because you didn't want me to come get my child or send somebody that I felt was a responsible adult to come and take custody of my child, such as her mother, and didn't say nothing. That would have made me mad too. I'm sorry. I ain't really feeling some of the stuff she be doing, how she be spending her money, but I know she do love her kids, and I would have felt the way about that too. I ain't gonna lie about it.
if I asked him, would he have said something like, well, she's doing all this stuff out in Vegas, she's on these porns and all this stuff or whatever. Well, I can't say the P word, but she's on all this corn and all this stuff. Would he say that stuff? Was that his argument basically?
His was, he's just very spiteful. He was being spiteful. From my understanding, when I visited back to Pittsburgh, I guess I didn't tell him or something, so he felt like I came to the city and like ended up seeing my son at that time. But I was like in and out type of thing.
Right.
And just from that moment on, I guess he didn't like it, and that's when he stopped me from having all contact.
Okay.
Because he knew I was trying to get on my feet, and my son, he was younger at the time, and it was too much for me, keeping it real. So that's when I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and then he did this to me.
I get that, but I mean, I guess my recommendation would probably be that you guys, maybe, I guess this would be one of the only times where I say get the laws involved and get something on paper to where there could be some type of legal parenting plan. But I gotta tell you, I mean,
now I might not always see eye to eye with a lot of things that Marcus does, but I have to agree with Marcus on this one. Okay, Marcus, I agree with you on the fact that I do believe she should have went through the court, because I don't think that they had like some type of court arrangement. I think she just was going through the struggle. That's what it sounded like to me. It sounds to me like she was going through a struggle financially, and she was trying to financially get herself together. So she decided to give the son to the dad, I guess temporarily, but they didn't have an arrangement through the court system where the court could like monitor everything, the custody agreement or whatever. That's what I wanted to say. That's the proper word. And so he just was doing what he wanted to do. That's why you have to have a custody arrangement in place, because some fathers are spiteful, and because I guess he didn't really like her lifestyle because she's in that type of industry. You know what I'm talking about. You know what she was doing. And I guess he really ain't like that. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why, not the only, but one of the reasons why he didn't want the son to have any contact with her, which he had no right because that's still his mother. But I think that's probably one of the reasons why he was acting funny or whatever.
At the age that he's at, and with the type of issues that you're describing that he has, man, he's got to have his dad. I mean, I can't imagine anybody else that would be able to curb that behavior.
I feel like his dad has to make the effort, like try to come visit him, set that up. Like he has to make the effort.
So if he made the effort, then what? You would warm up to the idea?
Yeah, because I already have full custody. So if he was to try to keep my son from me this time, it wouldn't happen because I have full custody.
Okay.
But I know he's also
because obviously both you guys love your son, right?
Yes.
And so you want the best for your son. And in this society, little black boys that act up, they don't get a whole lot of passes.
But I don't think his dad will be really a good influence though, because his dad been like in and out of jail. And when I did let him see his son, when he would go because his dad was like living with the chick or whatever, and her kids, I know for a fact that he wasn't there. He'll have my son there with her while he'll go out and do what he want to do. So I feel like I looked at it like, how's he really bonding with his son if he's leaving my son with her? Like, she's not his mother.
No, I get it.
He would like leave.
I get it, and I can understand that that's what was happening when he was younger. But I'm just saying at these ages where he's about to be a preteen and stuff like that, it's worth considering. That's all I'm saying.
I get what Marcus is saying about, because he has like some developmental issues as far as his behavior, he would require a father around because that's more of an authoritative figure, and fathers could be a little bit more stern with their sons. But you don't really know what type of person her child's father is, because some fathers ain't ish either. Some of them are violent. Some of them are abusive. And if he has a set of circumstances where he has some mental disorders in place, you can beat them until they turn purple, orange, or black. And I'm not being funny. If they don't understand what you're talking about, that's not going to necessarily change their behavior, because sometimes it has something to do with the condition that they have. And some fathers, the only thing they do is will beat you behind. But I get what Marcus is trying to say, though. I understand what he's trying to say. Now, moving around, I want to talk about the fact that I heard that the 45-year-old man that she was dating is homeless also. People were asking why she keep coming up here begging for things that her and her kids need. Why is he not helping her out financially? Well, obviously, he can't help her if he's homeless himself. But he should be able to at least protect her and make sure that nothing happens to her and her kids. At the very least, he should be able to do that. I feel like she hustling all wrong, if you ask me. My thing is, if you're going to mess with an older man, then mess with an older man with some money that can help you pay some of your bills and help you get on your feet. Okay? It sounds to me like she's dating a bum. Even if she can't attract an older man with a lot of money, let's say she met a nice older man that lives alone. Maybe his kids are grown and out there living on their own with their own families. Or maybe he doesn't have kids at all, but he could be divorced or he could be widowed. Maybe his wife died or whatever. But either way, he lives in a house all by himself. He may just want companionship from her. And of course, he gonna want some snapback comeback from her. Now, y'all know what that snapback comeback is, because we got to watch what we say on YouTube. But y'all know what that is. Okay? I mean, that's obvious. He gonna want that. I mean, he's still a man whether he's older or not. They still have urges. But he may not charge her to stay with him. But she would have to make sure that she be smart about it if she decides to go that route. Because older men could get funny sometime too. Like they, especially with her, it's not like she's coming by herself. She has the two boys, and we know how boys are. We know how kids are, period, but especially boys. Boys are a little bit more, they have a lot of energy and they like to run around, and sometimes they break things. And then she says her son has some behavior problems or whatever, and that's not the dad. So he might be a little bit more tougher on him because that's not his child, tougher than what she would like. She seems to be a little more gentle when it comes down to parents and her kids. And because he's old school and he might be older, he might be a little bit more firm and more stern than she would like. So that's something she would have to kind of consider too. So in a case like that, I would think that she should, keep her day job, even though it's housekeeping, it's still her job or whatever. Because you got to realize that this situation will be a temporary arrangement, because she may not necessarily be attracted to an older man or whatever like that. Well, that particular older man, because obviously she was attracted to the older man that she had the 1-year-old by, but he ain't feeling like that about her. Let's just say that. But she's going to need her job to save money so that she can get a place for her and her kids. Unless in the event she meets this guy, and it might start off with a fair exchange where she provides companionship, and obviously she does, like light, keeping the house clean, light housekeeping, cooking. Of course, she got to give up the goods. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And it might turn into a situation where it's that type of situation where they might fall for each other after a while. And she might decide to stay, and he might want her to stay. And then he might wife her up and take her seriously. That might be her Russell Wilson, But it might not be. But it's a chance she have to take. If you're going to rock with somebody and give your body to somebody, at least give your body to somebody who can provide you and your kids at least a place to stay. Even if he don't let you live there, he might let you come over there and stay for a few nights out of the week, just so you can save some money on, and put that money to the side that you would spend on a hotel, or you don't have to go into a shelter. You got to be smart about it if you're going to do it,
Who's really trying out here. Like, people are just judging me, that's all it is. And they call it like, oh, we're not hating on you or jealous of you, but you are hating because you're being very judgmental, you're being mean, you don't really truly know me. So why be so rude and mean?
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I understand what she's saying. However, what makes her not just her story, but what makes her feel that she's so special that everybody's supposed to dig in their pocket and give her their hard-earned money to fund her lavish lifestyle? We all want to take trips. We all want to push a luxurious car. We all want nice things. Why does John Q. Public have to fund her lifestyle when she's dealing with these men? Her oldest son's father is not helping with the older son. Okay. Now, her baby that she just had by the older man that she was working at the restaurant with, he doesn't even claim her baby. He doesn't even think that child is his. So if he doesn't think the child is his, then obviously he's not helping to provide for him financially either. Then she's dealing with this other man that's older. He's 45 years old. And it sounds to me like he's homeless himself. So I don't know whether he has a job. She never said that. I don't know whether he doesn't have a job. She never said that either. But obviously, financially, he ain't helping. He's just sleeping with her. And I don't know where they're sleeping with each other. She's more than likely probably the one that's paying for the hotel, because he probably ain't got no place to stay neither. So that's a waste of time. So why she feels that she's not begging? She is begging. Every time Marcus talks to her and we see her on camera, she is begging. That's not the world's responsibility to provide for you and your children. Okay? There's nothing wrong with needing help, but why don't you go to their fathers? And even if you can't get help from their fathers, the man that you are laying with should be able to at least slide you a few dollars to pay for a hotel room and some food for you and your kids. He can't even do nothing for you. He can't even put you in a cheap motel. So you wasting your time and wearing your body out and putting miles on your body for free. It's obvious that this chick just want money, and that's just the bottom line. For every solution you give her to help her fix her lifestyle, she comes up with another problem or an excuse as to why she can't do something. I don't think that she's doing as bad as she would like people to think. I feel like she's a hustler. Now, don't get that twisted. She's into the world. What I mean by that, she's seasoned. She's been around. Like, she knows how to navigate through the streets. So she knows how to hustle. I'm sure she watched Marcus before she got interviewed by him. So she knew who he was and what he was about. And she also knew that when he interviewed homeless people, that a lot of his supporters feel sorry for them and cash app them money. I'm sure she knew that too. Okay? This is probably a scheme of some sort. She doesn't necessarily have to be homeless, but she just doesn't want to stop her spending. And she wants people to fund her lifestyle. The weird part about it is this chick doesn't think that she has a spending problem, which she very well does.
You know,
like
they want to make sure that you can keep up, I guess, the way that you look and everything else. So speaking of that, right? So, okay. Some people made some comments about, I guess, your surgeries and everything else. On my channel, they was calling you BBL for a while, which I thought was crazy or whatever. But I guess some people were insinuating that the BBL wasn't quite BBLing, right? And so what's your response to that?
Well, trust me, if they was to go back of how I used to look, they will definitely.
And so let's real quick, just so I give context to anybody that is new or whatever. This is you, right? And so obviously the top.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She doesn't have a bad shape. She has a nice height. She's not too tall, not too short. She has a medium build. But as far as her BBL, it's really not BBLing. It's I don't know, because I don't have a BBL, but maybe she has maybe a skinny BBL, somebody was telling me. And that's where it looks a little bit more natural looking, where they take some of the fat from certain like from your stomach and from your back and different parts and kind of put it in your behind instead of doing the shots or the injections or whatever, which they said is safer because it's coming from your body. It's not anything foreign being injected into your body. But as far as her shape, I mean, she still got rolls of fat back there. I don't understand why she just can't exercise. She has extravagant taste and she is homeless. There's nothing wrong with liking nice things, but she got to get up off her feet first before she start doing stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. Now, enough about the oldest son. We talked about him enough. And his dad. Now I want to get into talking about her youngest son, her 1-year-old. She also said that her younger son's father doesn't believe that the 1-year-old is his child. He refused to take a DNA test, even though he told her that he would take one. Now, did y'all see in the video when Marcus busted out laughing when she said that the old dude from the restaurant was the only one that she let touch her in a physical manner without using protection? Okay, that's laughable to me. Okay, this chick needs some serious help. She needs some help. She did a video on her channel answering some of the same repetitive questions that Marcus had asked her. I mean, it's not really worth talking about for me because she gave the same redundant answers that she gave on Marcus's Atlanta Street interview that she just did. But if y'all want to take a look at it, y'all can go over to her channel. It's Westindiecollection. And you can watch the interview for yourself. But enough about Westindiecollection. Now I want to talk about the infamous Sunnyi. Okay? I want to talk about how she rolled up on her sister and literally put hands on her. She couldn't put feet on her because obviously, for obvious reasons, she ain't got no feet. But if she did have feet, she would have put feet on her too, child. She put hands on her sister because she needed something from the upstairs. So because her sister didn't come when she called her, she got mad and cussed her sister out, which in turn they got into an argument. Which I'm sure that wasn't the first time that she did that. They got into it or whatever. So they got into it and Sunnyi got mad and rolled up on her literally and popped her sister in the face. Now the sister didn't hit her right back, but she was visibly pissed off and rightfully so. Okay, so she just got hands put on her on live where everybody could see it. And Sunnyi was just viciously cussing her out. Now, not being funny or nothing, but her sister seems a little touched to me. Y'all know what I'm not trying to pick one or nothing, but she seemed like she got some mental issues as well. Just the way she was jumping around and screaming and carrying on. It seemed a little, yeah. But what Sunnyi has to realize is that the world doesn't revolve around her. I realize that she has a big platform on YouTube, and I understand that she got into an accident, and I'm sorry that happened to her, but it's not the world's fault that happened to her. She has to take some accountability for that also, because she discussed what happened in terms of the accident, and her story has kind of changed a little bit. So we don't really know what happened. Only she knows what happened because she was in the car when it took place. People have their own lives. They can't just drop everything and come running every time she wants something. That's why I was saying in one of my other videos that she needs to get the downstairs set up where she can have a refrigerator so she could, buy food and store her leftovers or whatever, and go to the Dollar Tree and get her some, utensils where she can make it comfortable. Get an air fryer, get a toaster oven, get a hot plate, get a small table, get it set up where she has her own little cooking area so that she doesn't have to be so dependent on her family. Because obviously they have their own things going on and they can't always tend to her. I'm not understanding why she doesn't have an aide to come down there and help her. I don't understand that. Okay. Sunnyi needs to be careful too. Just because that girl didn't hit her back when she hit her just then, that doesn't mean that she's not going to get her back later on. You understand what I'm saying? Sunnyi might need something and she might just ignore her again, or just not come downstairs anymore, or spit in her food, or put something in her food to hurt her. She better be careful. Sunnyi keeps her foods in the upstairs fridge, her and her kids. How she know her sister didn't spit in her food or put something in it already? Okay? She need to think before she start cussing people out and being abusive to them. If I was her sister, I would never come when she called me. Not after she embarrassed me and cussed me out and mistreat me like that. And I'm the only one that's really helping her. You don't see nobody else really besides the father and the sister coming down there, because the mother has dementia. She can't really help her. Excuse me. Sunnyi needs to stop being mean to everybody around her and find a program to go to during the day, like a day program. Like a day program is a program for like mentally disabled people, which I'm not saying that she's mentally disabled, but since she had her accident, I'm quite sure she's probably, depressed and having some, having a hard time dealing, with the new body that she has after the accident. So, it would be nice for her to get out of the house, because she likes to dress up, and she's a cute girl to me. I think she's very cute. I'm not going to take that away from her. Her face card, the accident didn't do anything to decline the way that she looks. She's very pretty. It's just she has a very stinking attitude, and I think if she was to get out of the house, because we know she likes to dress nice, she likes to look nice, and put a little different wigs on, and she looks cute in each and every wig she puts on, no matter whether straight, curly, or otherwise. Her wigs be looking nice. For her to only have one hand, she could flat iron, brush, and fix a wig up really nice. So I think it would make her feel better for her to get out the house every day while her girls are in school. Maybe go from maybe after her kids go to school, maybe until maybe about 2:00, like right before they come home, so that she could be home before her kids get home, to receive her children. I think that would make her be a little bit less miserable. I mean, because being on YouTube fighting with people all day, it's not doing anything for her emotionally or mentally. It seems like it's making it worse, because people are just, attacking her. She doesn't like some of the things that's being said about her. A lot of the people are not, they're not too fond of some of the things that she's saying and the way that she behaves. And she has a tendency to be getting cussed out left and right. So, and she's on there just, going at these people, trying to change their opinion of her. And she's not. You change your opinion of people. People change their opinion of you through your actions, not by you trying to cuss them out and trying to talk all gangster and trying to scare them into stop talking about you. That's not going to happen. I just don't understand why her family is not trying to help her get herself together more. It's like she's just there. Like she's just downstairs and they don't really pay her no mind. She's just there. I know she's really going through it because Marcus is really done with her for real. Like, I think he's really done. I think no texting, no calling, no nothing. Like, even if somebody, if he's on live and somebody brings her name up, he's very dismissive. Like, he'll say what he got to say. He's dismissive. He's not all happy-go-lucky like he used to be about her. He's just done. I think she was just too abrasive and miserable for Marcus. And he's an energy person, because I've heard him say that before. And at this point, she needs to realize that until she changed her attitude, her life is always going to be miserable. Okay? She doesn't have the right people around her. She has enablers around her. Her moms enable and encourage her horrible behavior. Her family just seem like they just ignore her. They don't pay her no mind. I feel like although she talks all gangster, she still needs a home health aide. They don't have to stay with her like all day long, but they could come early in the morning at like 6 a.m. She be up as early as 5 a.m. I've seen her myself doing early morning lives at 5 a.m. Okay, so she be up. But the reason why I feel like a home health aide would be beneficial to her is because they could help her with bathing and washing her hair and, doing light housekeeping duties. It seemed like her hair has not been washed or combed since before she went to St. Croix. I don't even know if she put any oil or nothing in her hair. They can also help her prepare breakfast for her and her girls and help her daughters get ready for school and help her clean up downstairs because the carpet is filthy. That carpet need to be professionally cleaned. I don't understand why her family doesn't assist her with some of these things, but she's so terrible to them as far as how she treats them that they probably can't stand being around her. They probably just, they don't like being around her. Well, that will conclude today's episode of Miss Panda Talk Time. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment in the comment section. Thank you for listening. I love you all, and be blessed.